Hi, today we'll be talking about how to set up an appointment setter phone agent without having to code, being it extremely easy, but it's going to be self-hosted, meaning that you're going to get all the benefits of self-hosting your AI agent. The first one is saving on costs, because you will not have to pay for the hosting or the platform that you are using to create the agent. Also, you're going to protect yourself from vendor locking, meaning that you're not going to suffer price increases and you'll have control over the data, the updates, and so on. Okay, I know that self-hosting for some people may sound complicated, but it is not. Trust me, I have made all the process extremely easy. We'll be using LiveKit to self-host our agents, and I have built this dashboard that is going to allow you to create agents extremely easily with this form, as you can see, and connect an N8N MCP server URL to add tools to the agent. Okay, this dashboard is available in my school community in the classroom section in free self-hostable resources course. Okay, you have the installation video here because it's 100% self-hosted. You're going to get all the code for the agent and so on available if you want to modify that. So yeah, I'm just going to show you one of the agents that I have built already in this channel that are a specific form for a specific industry of an appointment setter, for example, for real estate voice agents. I'm going to show you how I set it up. So basically setting the name, selecting whether I want OpenAI or Google for the OpenAI real-time API or Google Live API, or if I want separate STT, LLM, and TTS models just to have more control, you have here all the STT, LLM, and TTS providers that are available in this dashboard. Okay, so here we send the first message that the agent is going to be saying when we call the agent, and all the system prompt that it's going to be defining how the agent has to talk in this tone section, the personality, the environment where the agent is working, the different goals that this agent should have, several guardrails to make sure that the agent works as expected, and then the different tools defining when it should be using each tool and so on. And lastly, some variables that are being used along the system prompt. Okay, so defining the values of the variables. And then here we connect the N8N MCP server URL where we'll be defining the tools. Great, so I have set up an MCP server with a lot of tools. So basically the agent is going to be able to check the current date and time, check the availability of our calendar, and this tool actually enables the agent to check the availability for a specific employee, for a specific table, for example, if we're talking about restaurants, or for specific rooms, if we are talking about hotels. You can adapt it, and you'll have to define these tables, rooms, employees, or other units of the resources that your business has. You'll just have to define these units here. Okay, so I just wrote the name of 2 employees, 2 fictional employees that I would be having in my business. Okay, and the agent is just going to retrieve the employees in this case from this tool, and it's going to check availability for each of the agents. Okay, so that's really good if you want, for example, to build a phone agent for a restaurant that is going to be taking table bookings. Okay, then the agent is going to have access to book appointment tool, just to book an appointment inside of the calendar. This is how it works. Okay, then it's also going to be able to retrieve the event details, cancel a calendar event, reschedule an event. Also, you can connect a Google Sheet here just to retrieve information about your business that could be dynamic. For example, I took this from the real estate agent video. This sheet is just containing the properties listed in the agency website, okay, fictional website. Then also it's going to write summaries just to make sure that then you can check the summaries of how the call went and so on, and improve the agent. Of course, if you have any law that is prohibiting this, of course, if you have any law that is prohibiting this kind of tool or call recording and so on, you can just disconnect the tool if you want or remove the tool entirely. Okay, and then it's also going to be able to send emails, just to send a confirmation email that the table or the room or the book on site estimate it has been booked. And also you could connect actually an SMS tool. In the case of Twilio, there is resource SMS sending operation, okay? But if you use any other provider, you'll have to set it up with an HTTP request tool, okay? It's not really hard. And I actually tried to do it, but I just noticed that the phone number that I had purchased for these kind of videos did not have the SMS sending option enabled, so I cannot do that. Okay, that's why I haven't added the SMS tool here. Great, so I'm going to be showing you now the different tools. All these tools are going to be available in the school community as well. The MCP server itself, this workflow itself, is going to be available in the school community so that you can just download it and that's it, okay? So first, the check availability tool. This is the more complex tool that I have connected to the MCP server, so I'm just going to show you around quickly. So here we have the when executed by another workflow trigger that it's going to be getting the starting at, ending at, and time zone variables, okay? So this starting at, it's the date time at which the agent is going to start looking for availability, and the ending at is the same concept, but the ending date time instead of the starting date time, okay? In the case that you have downloaded this tool from my school community, you'll have to set up these variables. So first, the starting hour, that it's basically the first hour of the day where you are able to be working or taking the meetings and so on. Ending hour, the same concept, but the hour at which you end, okay? Then the meeting duration, for example, if you are booking tables in a restaurant, you may say, okay, approximately it will take like an hour and a half to have dinner or to have lunch. So yeah, we'll set it to 90 minutes. Okay. Then the booking cadence buffer before the meeting. So there is a 15 buffer before the meeting itself. And then the buffer after, okay? The exact same concept, but the buffer after the meeting. And then the existing employees / units. So by units, I mean tables, rooms, and so on, okay? Or you can also define the employees here. As you see, I have defined Richard and David, okay? And yeah, it's just going to be splitting everything out and going over every employee or unit to check the availability for that specific unit or employee. Okay, so it's going to take the current employee / unit, compute the potential slots, get the appointments. If there are no events scheduled, it's just going to take all the potential slots and return those potential slots. Okay, or if there are appointments actually scheduled, it's going to subtract these appointments from the potential slots just to get the free slots. And it's going to return the free slots, okay? So this is going to be done for every employee or unit, and then it's going to make sure that there are no duplicates, and it is going to return the available slots, okay? Then the check event details tool is pretty much the same but simplified, extremely simplified, okay? But there is the same two nodes at the beginning, then it hops directly into getting appointments. Well, in this case, it is asking for the client phone too, okay? So if there are any events scheduled, it's just going to keep events from the contact, okay? Taking into account that we are filtering based on the client phone, okay? And it's going to take the relevant info from this and return this. And in the case that there are no events scheduled whatsoever, it's just going to return no events exist, okay? Then the reschedule and canceling tools are extremely simple. As you can see, they are by just taking the client phone, new startup, new, and so on. It's going to get the events for the next 2 months just to make sure that we are not leaving out any event that could be the event that we want to be scheduling, okay? We're just going to keep events that are from the contact. Okay, so we are checking the description just to make sure if there is or there isn't the phone number of the user. Okay, and then we are rescheduling the event. And the cancel tool is pretty much the same, but instead of rescheduling the event, it's just canceling the event. And then for the agent to be able to start taking calls, you'll first have to make sure that you have purchased a phone number. I recommend you use Telnix. I have purchased the phone number here and it worked extremely good. They just asked me for documentation about personal documentation, also documentation from the company that I used to purchase the phone number. And so it has been extremely easy to connect to my LiveKit server, okay? But then the LiveKit SIP and so on, it's quite complicated to code and so on if you don't use LiveKit Cloud. So that's why I would recommend you to use the LiveKit control panel that you have available in my school community, okay? Just make sure to add the phone numbers here or the phone number that you have purchased, then set up the SIP trunk by just clicking a couple of buttons. If you can create an inbound trunk or an outbound trunk, depending on if you want the agent to be able to make calls, that would be outbound, or take calls, that would be inbound. Okay, in this case, for the case of this video, we'll have to create an inbound trunk. Okay, so just set a name, select the phone number, and select the crisp enabled. Okay, then go to dispatch rules, new dispatch rule, the name, the room prefix doesn't really matter what room prefix you set. Select the agent that you want to be joining the call, and then select the trunk that you have just created. Okay, and that's going to be it. You'll have the agent completely self-hosted, running on your server, and also being able to take calls from your customers. So yeah, as I have already said, this dashboard is in my school community. You'll have the whole installation guide here, the download files here. Okay, all the tools that I have shown you, the cancel calendar, the reschedule, the check availability, and the check event details. You also have an auto outbound system if you need this, and some other self-hostable scrapers that can be used to get information from YouTube, Meta Ads, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Instagram, plus a lot of other things in the community. Okay, so yeah, I hope that this has been useful. If you have any doubt whatsoever, please leave it in the comment section, and we'll see us in the next video.